Okay, so we have a quorum. All right, everyone. It's 7:04, and I'd love to get this party started. I'm going to call this meeting to order. It's the Thursday, November 7th, meeting of the full City Council. And, it's going to be
Winner is
Howie Graney.
Howie.
Alrighty, and
The flower fund for
the clerk will call the roll.
Where's the clerk? Oh, on Zoomer?
She's online.
Brenda's on Zoomer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brenna's on Zoom.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me, Brenna?
She's on mute, it looks like.
Yeah, but I could hear you, so that
Okay.
she should be able to. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe her volume is down.
The clerk is on mute.
Is she frozen? Oh, no, she moved.
She might.
There was an issue.
There she is.
I was watching.
Oh, you're on.
Izzy was able to hear, so
Oh yeah,
she should be able to hear.
unless her connectivity is.
Calling Brenna. Calling Brenna.
No, she's frozen.
No, she's moving.
No, we're texting her though.
Oh, there she goes. She's unmuted.
Oh, hi, Madam Clerk. I don't think we can hear you.
Do you have anything Bluetooth connected?
The sign back on.
I wish, Howie.
So we can hear Councilor
Correct.
Bacon, we
Yeah,
can hear
Thursdays are-
Councilor Rivera.
Wow, that's on. You got that volume on 100? Wow.
Juan said that was
Dude.
okay. Juan said that was
Okay.
okay. So
Yeah.
Brenna, you just want to just do it?
Her computer isn't allowing her to turn on her mic.
I can. Do you want me to just?
I do.
The issue is her computer isn't allowing her to turn on her mic.
Well, let's just call the roll and.
make a motion that the city, that the Madam Clerk calls the roll.
Second.
Sure. I just want to make. Thank you. I just want to make sure that she can still do the roll for the whole meeting, but I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going to go this way. Councilor Graney.
Here.
Councilor Givner. Here. Councilor Sullivan. Here. Councilor Devine. Here. Councilor Bartley. Here. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Here.
Councilor Jordan.
Here.
Councilor McGrath Smith.
Here.
Councilor Bacon.
Here.
Councilor Isidro Rivera.
I'm here.
Councilor Carmen Ocasio.
Here.
Councilor Jenny Rivera.
Here.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
For which it stands,
under God.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So this meeting is being recorded. We are being live streamed on the city's public access station and the website and on Zoom. This meeting is being translated, live translation in Spanish. And before we get into business this evening, I know that there's a couple folks who have things to do. Yeah, so Councilor Devine, I'll let you go first, and then I believe Councilor Bartley's coming up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you would indulge me a few minutes to celebrate the life of Jack McCarthy. For those of you who don't know Jack, and I think a lot of us do, Jack McCarthy passed away on September 3rd. Jack was a 33-year firefighter who won many awards during his career, including the department's highest honor, the Walter Scott Award. He was a longtime officer of the Firefighters Aid Association, a longtime chair of the Holyoke Retirement Board. He was a member of the Section 19 Public Employees Insurance Committee, He was a United States Air Force veteran serving with the 104th Air National Guard and was activated in France during the Berlin crisis. And I can only speak of my friendship with Jack and his family, and he surely will be missed. So I would like to have a moment of silence for Jack and his family.
Thank you. Please observe a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Graney?
Just quickly, Madam Chair, I'd like to offer a moment of silence for Frank Mooney, a highly decorated Vietnam veteran who passed away a week and a half ago. Longtime Holyoke resident and longtime participant in youth sports, helping the kids out. So please give us a moment of silence for Frank.
And while I can, Councilor Graney as well, Frank's name and rank and everything, and Jack's name and rank is at the War Memorial marquee. So if you want to go by there, or if the family wants to take a look, both names are on there.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilor Bartley?
This is the volleyball that our administrative assistant and his beloved husband, and I didn't really do much this year, but I thought it was my idea. They went ahead, and we started this tradition 3 years ago by getting all the inductees of the Volleyball Hall of Fame to sign this volleyball, and this will be on display in front of the Madam President for the rest of the year until, and we want to thank the mayor, of course, for inviting us to the Friday night Hall of Fame mayor's reception, and that's where we met. It's a wonderful event, and it's really first rate. And this is just something that we started a few years ago. So I want to thank Juan, I want to thank Jeff, and I want to pass this volleyball. Oh, and one last thing, the other volleyballs are now sitting at the Hall of Fame, and they may be auctioned off as a kind of a fundraiser. They're on display now, but the executive director said they may do it for a fundraiser. So it's all going towards a good cause. And so I'm going to pass this baton, or volleyball in this case, to Madam President to put it in the display. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
It's upside down.
Just kidding. He's still running the marathon.
Perfect. Thank you, councilors. It was a great evening that night, so thanks everyone who was able to be there. Before we get into all the items on the agenda, we have a long agenda tonight. It's over 100 items, and it's been a long week for everyone, I think. So if we can finish by 9:30, I will buy anyone that wants one a drink, and you can pick whichever karaoke song I'm gonna sing later tonight. So that's my deal to you.
That is on the record.
It's on the record now. You can put it in the minutes.
Yeah.
But again, just really hoping that we can stick to the topics that are in front of us. If it's not going to committee, or if it is going to committee, we're not gonna, let's just see if we can get this done at a reasonable hour, and with respect, because that's what we do. As far as I know, there's no updates on 1 or 2, so we can just lay those on the table, or
moved.
keep them laid on the table. And then item 3.
Madam President, I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you, but we do have somebody in the audience.
I'm so sorry, I missed public comment.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not for public comment,
Okay.
actually. This is Sarah LaRose. I'd like to make a motion to take the item out of public service, and Juan can explain why she's here and why we're voting on that tonight.
I'm sorry, which item?
Public service.
Hold on, no, I'll give her the,
Number 58.
yep.
Thank you.
I'll second the motion to take 58 up now.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take up item
58.
58. That's not what 58 looks like for me.
Okay, so depending on which agenda you're looking at.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun tonight. Let me go to.
So it's,
Jeff,
it's
give her one of
55
those.
on mine, so it should be 50,
Give her one of those. She doesn't have the
56
right
or
one.
57.
It's 58.
It's 58?
I understand, it's just my agenda doesn't say 58, so I'm trying to find it. Please hold.
58 it is.
I believe you. CPA? Got it.
Francesca?
It's version 1.
Okay, so item 58 is the Committee on Public Service, to whom was referred an order that a new community representative be chosen by City Council to be seated on the Community Preservation Act Committee to replace Francesca Nunez. And this is recommended that the order be referred to the full council. Councilor Anderson Burgos?
Yeah, so it was great to meet Sarah LaRose. She stated that she had been a lifelong resident, spent most of her career at Holyoke Gas and Electric, and wanted to do her best for the people in the city. She expressed an appreciation for the things that the CPA focused on, including affordable housing, recreational opportunities, as well as a preservation of cultural resources. Ms. LaRose stated that her role in HG&E, one of the main areas she was involved in was permitting. She added that she knew a lot of Conservation Commission members and had worked closely with them. And if anybody else from the committee would like to weigh in on their thoughts.
Councilor Greeny?
Yeah, quickly. Sarah, very, very impressive candidate. I'd recommend her highly that the full council approve this.
Great. Councilor Jordan?
I'd like to make a motion to go to the first ballot.
Second.
For CPA Commissioner.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to go to the first ballot for CPA Commissioner. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any other discussion? Okay. Madam Clerk, are you able to?
I'm here.
Hi, okay.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know.
It's okay. It's
Just the week it is.
it is, you know.
good.
And
I'm
just
good.
let
I'm
you
here.
know, Councilor Graney was pulled first, but I don't know if that matters for this
Yeah,
vote.
I was able to hear everything that was going on. My computer
Okay.
wasn't allowing me to take it off of audio for some reason, but
Okay.
all's good.
I'll show you mine.
Oh, do you want to call
Call the roll.
the roll for the
58.
item 58?
Graney?
Yes.
No,
Well, you
no.
wanna
You
call-
gotta state the name of your candidate.
Candidate Sarah for my candidate.
LaRose, Sarah LaRose.
Sarah LaRose.
Jordan?
Sarah LaRose.
McGrath Smith?
LaRose.
Murphy Ramboletti?
Sarah LaRose.
Ocasio?
Sarah LaRose.
Israel Rivera?
LaRose.
Jenny Rivera?
No.
LaRose.
Sullivan? Can you just repeat that, please, Councilor Sullivan?
Sarah LaRose.
Thank you. Bacon?
Sarah LaRose.
Anderson Burgos?
Sarah LaRose.
Bartley?
Sarah LaRose.
Devine?
Sarah LaRose.
Givner?
Sarah LaRose.
Sarah LaRose appointed on the first ballot unanimously.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you for volunteering your time. We appreciate your
When does
service.
she get sworn in?
Sarah, if you can go to the clerk's office to get sworn in as at your convenience tomorrow or yeah, that's Friday. That'd be great, or next week, but you can reach out to the clerk's office. Thank you. Congratulations. And before we go even further, I forgot, I would entertain a motion to take a roll call vote that for the purposes of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to receive, to refer items to committee, remove items from the table, place items on the table, package items together, comply with items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection.
So moved.
All those in
Second.
favor?
Second.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Okay. Let's go back. Thanks, everyone. Item number 3 is from Mayor Joshua Garcia, which is a veto of October 16th, 2024, agenda item 54. Councilor Bartley.
I'd like to make the motion that we return this to the mayor, please.
Yes. Is there a second?
Uh,
Under discussion.
Just under discussion, the veto itself is not procedurally in order, and I don't think there's a reason for us to veto anything that's not in order, or support or deny a veto, I should say. So I would just say, return this to the mayor, and let's see what happens with the order in committee.
Any other discussion? Councilor Jordan.
Yeah, just a technical question. I appreciate the spirit of what is being suggested by my colleagues. The only question is, though, is if he has the authority to veto any order, did we adopt the order?
No,
'Cause-
so that's the thing. That order that he's referring to is still in committee.
Okay, so it's not live for him to even veto it at that
Correct.
point. Okay, all that, there we have it. All right.
But, yep,
There were disagreements as far as what the motion was.
okay,
That's part of the issue. There were disagreements as far as.
okay. Well, if it's for item 54, that I believe that item is still in committee. Okay, all right. Item 4 is, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? So moved. Item
Excuse me.
4?
I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, but item 54 on my agenda is.
From the last meeting?
Last meeting, Patty. You remember,
Yeah,
It's actually
I
your
know, but-
order.
it was your order. Remember, it's the one on the multifamily? We had-
Right, but item 54 on this agenda is not what we're talking about.
No.
No.
We're talking about item 3, item 54 of the last agenda.
Okay, on the 22nd of October.
Yeah.
Okay, all
Yep.
right, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Confusing, no doubt.
No doubt.
All right. Item 4 is from Mayor Joshua Garcia. It's the 2023 signed MOU with HPD roll call. And then,
So take 4 and 5 as a package?
yes, thank you. All those in favor?
Second.
And then item 5 is also from the mayor, and it's the 2021 signed MOU with HPD roll call. Would you like?
Has a copy of that been PDF'd and sent around? That could be sent around to the counselors?
Yeah, we received.
Oh, you already sent, then
Yep.
we're all set. Thank you.
So the motion,
Motion is to receive then.
receive, yeah.
Mar-
Not if we're-
Do you want it to go to finance? There is an order in there about
Oh, is
roll
there?
call.
Yeah, there is.
All right, maybe, all right, send a
If you want,
copy
I
to
mean-
finance then?
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
editorial endorsing.
Second.
We're not on that
We're
yet.
not on that, Howie.
We're not on that yet.
6.
We're on 4 and 5.
4 and 5, Howie.
All right, so send to finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Item 6 is filed by Councilor Bartley. Article regarding Western Mass mayors endorsing psychedelic ballot question.
Yeah, My motion is to receive that.
Second?
Just under discussion, it was something supported by our mayor and then the mayor of West Side regarding ballot question 4, and I just thought it would be of interest to the public. Thank you.
So the motion was to
Just
receive.
Yep.
Councilor Graney.
Editorial endorsing is spelled wrong. It's S.
Where is it?
Use the microphone.
I can't let it go by one.
I respect that. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, Alexa.
Anything else? All right, all those in favor? The motion was to receive. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Item 8, 9, 10, 11.
Item 7 is the Hoyoke Gas and Electric Industrial Land Project City Council vote and resolution from December 5th, 2001.
You received?
Yeah, can we take 7, 8, 9, 10, I guess those, 11 and 12,
Yeah.
Okay?
13, 14, 15, 16, Yeah, take those as a package. I don't know about the 17th.
Okay, so from 7
The 16th.
to 16 to take as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I just want to make another motion that we allow the president to make just abbreviated, abridged readings of each and every order for tonight.
Second?
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Enthusiastically.
I was gonna say,
Why not? Yeah.
These guys.
felt very strong about that.
You all want to go to karaoke too. I get it.
I want that free drink.
Exactly. All right. So seven. So I did 7. 8 is minutes from HEDIC and executive minutes from HEDIC. 9 is 9 and 10 are both from HEDIC. The annual meeting report and the economic development plan. 11 and 12 are from the Holyoke Police Department, grant completion reports. 13 is minutes from the Historic District meeting. 14 is from DESI, announcement, the announcement about receivership. And 15 as well, one is in English, one is in Spanish. And 16 is from Holyoke Police Department, the off-duty blue services agreement. The motion to
Receive.
receive under discussion.
Yeah, just briefly, Madam President, I don't know if you have any context on item 7. Is there a reason something from 20-something years ago is being sent over to us? Did that topic come up from anybody or anybody? Like, why all of a sudden out of the blue is that coming?
I don't know. I was assuming I missed something, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jeff, did you hear anything about that item? I'm just, why all of a sudden the G&E sending us that?
I think it was sent as an additional item, sorry, I should have. I believe it was sent in as an additional item through a request for a contract.
Oh,
So it was related.
so the council requested this, or? I mean, if you can't remember right off
Yeah,
the top.
I think it was, there's another contract that was requested, maybe it's the Anniversary Hill contract. That's later on, I think it's connected to that.
Okay, so, all right, something's, all right, thank you.
Okay, Councilor Bartley?
I'll happily explain this, but in light of the length of this meeting, I'll just explain it offline to Councilor Jordan. 'Cause it's rather important, so I want to review this with Councilor Jordan.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll review with any other councilor. So I requested it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
So it's something we requested, okay, fine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, so is the motion to receive these?
yep.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Look at us.
Oh,
Item 17 is the Anniversary Hill Park contract documents.
Motion to send that to DGR to.
second.
Yeah, and,
Motion's been made and seconded to send to DGR under discussion. Counselor Devine?
yeah, I tried to find it today, and I think I did it like a couple hundred pages, so.
260.
How many? 160?
260.
260. So, I don't know if Jeff's gonna have time to make a copy of that or not, but
Can probably have.
be there.
Yeah,
Okay.
access to it. If folks need a copy, a paper copy versus seeing it
Yeah.
in a document, just let Jeffrey know. We try to not waste paper if we don't need to.
thank you.
It'd be 3,000 pages if we printed it for all of you. Anyone else? Okay, so send to DGR. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, great. Petitions.
I'll make a motion to suspend our rules and take 18, 19, 20 together as a package. As they're each
Second.
renewals.
Motion's been made and seconded to take items 18, 19, and 20 together as a package. They are all renewals of home occupation for businesses.
Yeah, so we got to vote on that.
So, and that's a roll call vote.
No.
No, just kidding.
Voice.
Any discussion?
On taking them as a
Just take them as
package?
package, no.
Oh, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And my subsequent motion is to approve each of them so long as they paid up whatever they had to pay up.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. So the motion is to take, to approve these 3 renewal of home occupation permits: 123 Homestead Ave, 267 Southampton Road, and 415 Ingleside Road. Councillor Jordan.
Yeah, just a friendly suggestion for future reference for whoever's doing the agenda. If they could put the type of business we normally traditionally on the agenda, it'll say, I have a nail salon, or I have a trucking business, or if they could just put that on the agenda for the public, that would be appreciated. And I would say, yes, agree to the approval, unless they're, provided it's conditioned on any prior conditions that we've given in the past.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so the motion was made and seconded to renew these 3 home occupation permits pending any pre-existing conditions on the permits.
Don't you have it all there? Because you have the checklist on the orders, I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
That might be just of what they owe. I don't know.
Yep. Everything's been checked off as usual.
Yeah, they have to.
Yep. Okay. Anyone else?
Everybody's good?
Do you guys want to know what kind of businesses they are? Or?
Sure.
Okay. One's a yoga studio. One is a plant-based cheese business. And one is another yoga studio. So, great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
And Madam President, can we take 21, suspend, and take 21 and 2 together as a package?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
21 is a special permit application for a motor vehicle repair garage at 41 Temple Street. And 22 is a petition of 846 Grow for a marijuana cultivation and manufacturing establishment, 360 Race Street.
So you want to refer these, I certainly 21 should go to DGR. I don't know about 22, so.
I believe that would go to ordinance.
Ordinance.
Okay, so my motion will be send 21 to DGR and 22 to ordinance.
Madam Chair,
Second.
I want to vote separately on each one of these.
These are just going, we're not actually voting on them. We're just voting to send them to committee. We can do that if you want.
Yeah, I would rather take them up separately.
Oh, okay.
Well, motion is to send 21 to DGR.
Send 21 to DGR. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And motion to send 22 to ordinance.
Ordinance, second.
Second.
Motions to send 22 to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
No?
Okay. Thank you. All right. Reports of committees.
You want the president's report?
Oh, I always skip the president's report.
Favorite part of the meeting. Come
I
on.
know. What am I thinking? Okay. I do have a lot of notes for you guys. So buckle up. First of all, let's congratulate our friend Jeffrey on completing the New York Marathon.
Oh, congrats.
Over the weekend, he finished in, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 hours, 39 minutes, and 53 seconds. What a champ.
That's amazing.
What a champ.
We've
Take-
had longer meetings
I
than
should
that.
mention he beat Sebastian Yatra, who is an artist.
I was wondering about that. That's good. Proud of you. I want to thank Brenna, our clerk, and everyone in the clerk's office, and all the poll workers, everyone for doing a great job this week. And hopefully you have had some chance to rest. So thank you. Right now, at this exact time, the mayor is actually hosting a meeting for all committees, city committees, the chairs, and encouraging people to come and talk about policies and open meeting law, review a lot of those stuff, review best practices with minutes and all that good stuff. So that's happening right now at Holyoke Media, I believe. Veterans Day is this Monday, so the War Memorial will be hosting their ceremony at, it's November 11th, obviously, but at 10 a.m. So everyone is invited. If you are going to come, just try to get there like 15 minutes early. The doors will actually open at 9 if you want to stay around. and should be a great event. I love that event. They always do a great job. The mayor is hosting a potluck and wants to invite all of you fine people for Thanksgiving, which is happening here at City Hall. It's usually in the hallway on November 14th
Oh, nice.
at noon. So feel free to bring a dish if you'd like, or I bring seltzer water because I feel like that's the easy way out. I want to cook. And then the police department reached out. The senior citizen Christmas party is December 3rd. It's at Wyckoff this year. As always, they're looking for donations or support if you're able to. The tree lighting ceremony and the parade of lights is scheduled for December 7th. So put that in your calendars. Always a wholesome time. And then the staff, like City Hall staff holiday party is scheduled for December 20th at 5 p.m. At Pix this year. There was one other announcement that I had to make about the Tourism Advisory Committee is gonna be, thank you. They are having their next meeting on November, was that today? No. November 19th?
Yep.
Oh wait, that's not today.
No, that's not.
I'm sorry. Their next meeting is November 19th, and it's at 4 o'clock, so I had to sign off, and the mayor signed off. Just letting you know, there's some folks who just have to meet a little earlier, so just making sure that you're all, and the public is aware of that. And I think that might be it for my report. I am still working closely with the auditor's office and the assessor's office to get a date for us to set the tax rate. It will likely be before a meeting, and maybe what we should do is maybe we plan to schedule our meeting to start a little later. I don't want everyone to feel rushed. I want people to have enough time, but I also know that we need to start the meeting and we don't really want to be here all night. So hopefully stay tuned. It has to be before December 7th. So I know that they're waiting for numbers, and I'm letting them work their magic and just trying to schedule the meeting. Anything else that I'm missing? Okay. All right, reports of committees. 23 is from the
Madam
committee.
Chair?
Yes.
Can I offer a motion that we take up items 23 through 29 as a package because they've all been recommended to be adopted?
Second.
I second. I was
Awesome.
actually raising my hand to do that.
I'm
but
sorry, I
thank-
didn't see that. Sorry.
No
Okay.
worries. Also, what I was gonna also say is that like the signal's coming in and out, so you guys are choppy. So if I don't respond, it's because I didn't hear you say something. So
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Got it. We'll get through this. So the motion was made and seconded to take items 23 through 29, right? As a package. And I will briefly read these. 23 was an order to create handicap parking spaces for Wasiriahurst visitors. 24 was a stop sign placed at the corner of Larkin and Willow Street. 25 was DPW installed Do Not Block the Box on Northampton Street at Longwood. 26 was a four-way stop sign at Oak and Essex Street. 27 is the DPW engineer evaluate Upland Street. And do you need me? I'm sorry. 23 is going to have to be tabled because it's the wrong order.
There were two different orders for handicap at Wasiriahurst, and I
Okay.
copied the wrong language.
Okay. So
Motion to table 23.
just table it. Okay. All motions are made and seconded to table 23. All those in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair? Madam Chair?
Okay.
I mean, Madam President?
Yeah.
So I thought there was a communication from legal today that had the correct wording.
the wrong order.
Oh, it's just the
The
total.
order itself.
Okay, sorry. Thanks.
Thank you. 28 is about speed humps installed on Bemis Road. And 29 is also about speed bumps on Bemis Road. All of these have been recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Rivera.
Thank you. Yeah, last week, we had in, the new city, and, not the new, the interim, or city, or part-time, I guess, or contracted, I don't know what the terminology is. But she's doing great work, with the time that she's working for us. She came in to be able to kind of speak on a lot of orders that were filed over the last year or so, maybe a little longer. So a lot of these orders that you're gonna see, like these and more coming forward, she went through them and did some research. For these, she recommended that they all be adopted according to the research and the data that she had provided. For others, as you'll see later, there wasn't enough data at the moment or whatnot. So she possibly they got how do you say, denied in a sense, but for now, on these particular orders, she came in, she had a good presentation. I could go through every single one by one, but I think for the sake of time and knowing that our agenda is at 100, if there's any questions with regards to any of the, my colleagues here on the council, feel free to ask me with any particular order as to why they were potentially adopted within 24 to 29. But they're pretty much straightforward. The city engineer did the research. Carl came in and seconded a lot of the recommendations that she had presented.
Okay. So, Counselor Bartley?
Yeah, I don't have any questions, but I'll just point out just two orders. One on 24, there's a little bit of confusion, but I think Councilor Bacon's kind of saved the day on that one. So I think that was a helpful discussion. And then 25, sometimes I'm a little salty with the DPW, but in this case, I'll say that not only did they get on point, they already painted it, so it's already lock and load. So very happy with the DPW and about that. I know the constituents are too. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Counselor, was that your motion? Is there a motion to pass the first reading?
Motion to pass the first reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Motion to pass the second reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to pass the second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed?
Motion that the passage be ordained.
And
Second.
the motion that the passage be ordained. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt 24 through 29.
Brainy,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
unanimous vote.
Okay, with that, you've passed it. And before I go to the next one, Councilors Rivera, Bacon, and Jenny Rivera, do we have your permission to sign the orders that are here tonight?
Yes.
No, not yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, item 30. Item 30.
Can we take
yes.
item 30 and 31 up as a package, please?
Sure. Motion's been made and seconded to take up items 30 and 31 as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, so item 30 is an order that a stop sign placed on McGinnis and Appermont Highway. And the 31 is no parking signs in front of and across from 24 Sydney Ave be removed. And both are recommended that the engineer's report to not install the stop sign be adopted and to not remove signs be adopted. Counselor Rivera?
Yes. So thank you. So for these, she came in. She actually sent all of us as counselors a document that kind of outlined the reasons behind as to why she came to the conclusions that she did. For this one, she stated that the crash data obtained from Mass DOT from 2021 to 2024 period does not indicate that any vehicular crashes had happened within the time span at the location, and that placements of the stop sign are not necessarily warranted based on the criteria. But I think one theme that came out of the meeting that's important to highlight is that traffic data is is important, and gathering it, right? Just so that we can better navigate how we're restructuring and doing our streets throughout the community. She mentioned about potentially trying to figure out how, as a community or as a city, we try to lay out a plan or figure out a plan to do some form of study that can help us get our streets in line, because things have changed over time, and some streets are not used as they once were, and some of them may be causing more accidents as there are more cars on the roads than they used to be. But I think it was important for her to highlight that, because without that, we wouldn't be able to, even if there is, how do you say, a feeling that in the community, the neighbors or the residents or the constituents, I mean, would like a stop sign, as Jenny, Councilor Rivera and I have witnessed in the Flats neighborhood. If there is no data, nothing that we can gather, and then if we do contract someone, that's a cost to us. So like, if there is no data, it's hard for us to kind of counter the point. But the other piece is that, like, that I heard her, that from what she was saying, is that we should find a way that we can actually purchase the equipment to ourselves, so that way we can gather the data ourselves and not have to always contract that out and wait on that. So for these particular orders, and this one in particular, number 30, the data stated that there were no crashes and that there's not necessarily any reason to put a stop sign for. So as a committee, we recommended to follow suit with the engineer's recommendation, which was not to install a stop sign.
Okay.
And then for 31, I believe that she stated that this was established by ordinance in the past, due to the road being really narrow and it's a dead-end street, and that it would make it difficult for emergency vehicles to come in and out if there were any situations or anything that came up. So that's why she decided, or I mean, she put the recommendation forward that the stop signs not be removed, or the signs not be removed.
Okay. Anyone else have anything?
So I think the motion is to receive and adopt the committee report.
Okay, so the motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. Let's see, 32, recommend, or let's see, sorry.
I would, Madam President, if possible, I think a motion for 32 all the way down to 44 as a package, as they're all complied with.
All
Second.
right.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take items 32 through 44 as a package. I will do a very abridged read. 32 is request an installation of a three-way stop at Chestnut and Suffolk. 33 is in order that Kennedy Circle be added to our ordinances. 34 is DPW purchase 6 to 10 speed or portable speed bumps. 35 is an order that a stop sign added on the left side of Pine Street when approaching Cabot. 36 is no truck signs on Beacon Ave. 37 is no truck signs Elmwood Heights. 38 is Don't Block the Box, painted 403 Main Street. 39 is that a no parking zone be created on Waldo Street and Beacon Ave. Councilor Rivera?
I think you're still going.
Oh, recommend all of these. Oh, I keep going. I'm just kidding.
I go to 44.
44, just kidding. 40 is that the city engineer discuss Courser Street one way. 41 is about Simosa Street as a one way. 42 is don't block the box on Beach Street at CVS. 43 is another Samoset bus lines for Kelly School. 44 is about alternatives to vehicles parking in front of driveways. All of these orders have been recommended that they have been complied with. Councilor Rivera.
Thank you. Similar to the earlier ones, as I mentioned, the interim or part-time person, city engineer person that works with us, I got to figure out an actual term for this. But she sent us all a document again with outlining a lot of the reasons and a lot of the work. And we found out in the meeting and before the meeting, and I think not too long ago, Jeff just forwarded some information from Mr. Rossi too as well, that a lot of these have already been complied with or are in the process of getting done. But there are some that we had, and I would say like the Samoset one, we had particular conversation about it, and what came out of it was we have to actually file an order around trying to get a study done first to be able to get that kind of work done on Samoset Street. But for the most part, some of the do not block the box, some of that stuff has already been done, and they're working on getting it done. The CVS one, I seen that one the other day, but I think Councilor Bartley had mentioned that was done too in the meeting. So again, if there's any particular question to any of the orders specifically, I would ask my colleagues to feel free to ask me right now in the meeting while we're here, because for the sake of time, and there's a lot of orders to go over here. We took a good 2.5, almost 3 hours going over a lot of these orders that were filed. So this was kind of an effort to clean out the traffic jacket and get moving in the ordinance committee. So I thank my fellow colleagues on the ordinance committee that helped spent the time that night. It was really long and very fruitful because we got a lot of information.
Thank you.
But yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Councilor Bartley?
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to make the motion be to receive and adopt the committee report. Okay,
Second.
Then just on discussion, very, very quickly, there are all some really good orders, and the chairman kind of laid it out pretty well. You'll note on here, and just for the public's consumption, that a lot of these have to do with speeding in the neighborhoods, big trucks in the neighborhoods. It's just a chronic problem, and frankly, to the public, we're doing our best here, but we can only help so much. But we'll continue to stay on it. Relative to 42, that was a somewhat shocking recommendation. There's nothing wrong with this order. The order's fine, but the recommendation that we got was possibly to put a rotary in that area. And if we had to put a rotary in there, they were going to chop off a portion of the field, Mackenzie Field. I mean, that is absolutely insane, and that's a non-starter. So some of us are going to cycle off this board, but this stuff, Mass DOT is rotary crazy. Everywhere there's a rotary now, and I don't want to have a rotary there for sacrificing ball fields. I mean, that's not what we do here, and they're a powerful agency with a tremendous hubris. So I mean, so people just need to be aware. Elected officials need to be aware of this, that these things are being discussed, and that would really impact Holyoke significantly. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Givner.
Thank you, Madam President, and through Madam to Councilor Bartley. I just would like to point out that I don't agree with all the rotaries and going rotary crazy, but I would like to point out that rotaries are very low maintenance. They have no cost. They require no lights. The lights don't break. You can't run the lights over. So maybe not there. It's a good idea, but in some instances, we might want to consider that they do calm traffic because you can't speed through a rotary. You have to stop. You can't run a rotary. So I think there's probably some places where we might want to consider it, but I do agree we don't want them to just suddenly start taking over every part of the city. But they do have some really important cost benefits and some important traffic calming benefits. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? So the motion was made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee reports. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, 45 is the Committee on Ordinance, that all one-way streets include a stop sign on both even and odd sides of the street's corner on approach to a stop. Recommended that the order be denied. Councilor Rivera.
Yes, this one was interesting. It didn't really hit me until the actual meeting. I guess the request was to have a stop sign on each side. And it got, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. It didn't, I guess it came to the conclusion that it didn't kind of make sense to have an extra sign cost effectively. Another sign that first, like, it's not customary, it's not something you normally see, and it wasn't actually recommended through the city engineer's office. They said they could, the DPW said they could do it, but it's not something that's normally seen, and it would just be an extra cost. I think that for us as a committee, we just figured that we'd give it leave to withdraw, and if it became more of an issue, someone would file an order to really get into the weeds about how we can better manage traffic without having to add another stop sign, like on the other side of the street.
Thank you. Does anyone have anything to add? Okay, so I'm sorry, I had your name down and everything. Councilor Givner.
Thank you, Madam President. I think that was my order, and part of the meeting made it clear that even if we did that at one place for consistency, we couldn't afford to do it everywhere because there was something like 60 intersections that would need it if we did one. So I think that was kind of the gist of it. Thanks.
Okay. So,
Motion be received.
Motion to receive and adopt the committee report.
thank you. Motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 46 is that that Front Street be made into a one-way street. This was recommended that the order be denied. Councilor Rivera.
Yes, the city engineer's office said, again, the interim had stated that we would need more data to be able to do something or to even explore it, and that the street it was weird for me. I didn't really fully understand where she was getting with it, but in the document that I have here. I gotta pull it back up again. Anyways, not to waste time because I can't find it right now. But to my understanding, she did the research, and we just again gave it leave to withdraw. And if it became something that a problem that arise around traffic and parking in that area, that we would try to have police monitor it more often.
Okay. Any other discussion? Councilor McGrath-Smith?
So correct me if I'm wrong, back to the chair. If I'm remembering correctly, part of this was us. There were a couple of parts in the conversation where we basically just had to stop and then talk about why we were sort of getting certain answers about certain streets. And I think the Front Street one was also connected to the fact that a lot of people are parking too close to the end of the street. And so there was a conversation around if some of the stop lines can be brought closer to the end of the street versus them being so far back. And there were also conversations around if we could experiment with relining the no parking areas that are towards the end of streets in order to add additional clearance so that people are having an easier time seeing traffic as it's coming. So I think those two things were named as actions that had to be taken, and that it would make sense to do those first. They're low cost, they can be done immediately, see if they have an impact, and then if they don't, we can come back and ask for other potential options.
And that goes along with gathering all the data that will be needed to make sure that the study's done too as well. So yes, thank you. And I think one of the stop signs painting thing particularly was on, wasn't it Suffolk Street and Chestnut? But that's a different thing.
Next
I
one.
don't
That'll
want
be
to delay.
next.
Next.
Counselor Vagan?
I was just gonna say, I'm sorry. I make a motion to receive and adopt the committee report.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? So moved. 47 is that a stop sign be considered on Suffolk at the intersection with Chestnut Street. Recommended that the order be given leave to withdraw. Counselor Rivera.
Yes, thank you. This is a little more closer to what Councilor McGrath-Smith was mentioning too as well. Aligns a lot more with the us trying, or DPW attempting to repaint the lines, move the stop sign a little closer to the corner, so that way, hopefully, or further up, so that way people are not eating the stop sign or going past the stop sign to try to reduce accidents between Suffolk and Chestnut, before we actually take other calming measures, so as Councilor McGrath-Smith had mentioned previously. But yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, it looks like
Motion to receive and adopt the committee report and
Second.
give it leave to withdraw.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded to receive and adopt the committee report, giving it leave to withdraw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 49 is a petition for a speed hump at Argyle Ave, and recommended that the order be referred to the Board of Public Works. Councilor Rivera?
You missed one?
Oh, 48.
Did I miss one?
48.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad. 48 is an order that speed humps be placed on South Summer Street. A petition was attached, and it's recommended that the order be given a leave to withdraw. Councilor Rivera?
Yes. So this one is another one where the engineer cited that data indicates that there isn't enough accidents and there isn't enough traffic. But as we stated in the meeting, as especially Councilor Ocasio, there is a significant amount of traffic that goes up and down that street. Well, not up and down, actually, one-way street. And they speed from stop sign to stop sign. But the engineer also mentioned, like, if they're gonna be speeding from stop sign to stop sign, what makes us think that they wouldn't speed from speed bump to speed bump? So I think that, and Councilor Ocasio, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think that the committee and Councilor Ocasio figured we could probably find another way to try to get this done, because I think with the signatures too as well, there was a situation. I'm not sure, you can probably correct me if I'm wrong too, Councilor Ocasio. So I think the most simplest thing was for us to give it leave to withdraw so that we could find a better way to try to approach the situation.
Thank you, Councilor. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add? Okay. So this was recommended that the order be referred to Public Works.
What's that? No, that,
Withdraw.
Forty-
Oh, gosh, I'm still on the wrong one. Sorry.
No, I'm
Receive
sorry.
the committee report and give it the order leave to withdraw.
second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to receive and give leave to withdraw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right, the next one is the one I keep thinking we're on. A petition for, it's item 49, a petition for a speed hump at Argyle Ave. Recommended that the order be referred to the Board of Public Works.
So for the engineer, her comments, so that the data will need to be collected. They need to get, again, 85 percentile speeds, to make sure that they're going 30 miles or less, or to try to figure it out. I think one of the action items, or the action items that she had stated for this particular item was, evaluate traffic data, and then also try to find a way to obtain funding for the traffic data collection, as well as putting in the speed humps in the future. So we've recommended that the order be referred to the board, so that the board could go ahead and figure out a way or a mechanism to try to find funding to fund the traffic study for this particular speed bump.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
No, motions to receive, adopt, committee report, refer this order to the Board of Public Works.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to refer to, receive, adopt, and refer to the Board of Public Works. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thank you, ordinance. We'll head into finance now. Item 50 is a transfer request of $33,000 from pay engineer and civil engineer to professional engineering services. Counselor Devine.
Make a motion to pass the first reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to pass the first reading.
And
All
this
those in
is,
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Under
this is the
discussion.
usual 2-month payment. So maybe one of these days this will not be on there and we'll actually have engineers. But that's what it's for.
Any other comments?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion's been made and seconded to pass the second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And Madam President, before we continue, if,
Oh, no, sorry, we need
You need roll call.
a roll call vote for
Okay.
that one. My bad. Motion to pass the second reading, and the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting for this transfer request.
Rainey,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Oh,
Israel
into-
Rivera,
Yes?
Jenny Rivera,
is that a yes?
Sullivan.
yes.
Okay. Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
No.
Devine,
yes.
Givner.
Yes.
12 yeas, 1 nay.
All right, with that, you've passed it.
And Madam President, before we
Yes.
continue, if we could reconsider our actions on item 16, that should go to finance.
Second.
Can you reread the order?
Okay. Item 16 is it's the off-duty blue contract. Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to reconsider our actions and refer item 16 to finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And let's see, now we're on 51.
Madam President, I wonder if I could make a motion to combine item 51 with item 104,
Okay, yes.
which deals with the,
Okay.
the transfer,
So
special act.
motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take up item 104 with item 51 as a package. Counselor Jordan?
Yeah, I'm fine with doing them both at the same time, but could we make sure we just take separate votes
Sure,
on them?
of course.
Thank you. Mhm.
So item 51 is a transfer request from finance, $30,000 from the mayor's CAFO line item to elections officers. And that was recommended that the order be adopted. And then item 104 was filed by myself, that the city council approve and take final action on the attached emergency preamble that would allow the special election home rule petition to go into effect as soon as the governor signs it.
Motion to pass the first reading on item 51.
Motion's been made and seconded to pass the first reading on item 51. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, and this is, the funds will go directly to the cost of holding the election, including poll workers, movers, printing ballots, programming memory cards, and equipment transportation and overtime for the special election to be held on January 28th, 2025.
Is there any other questions, comments? Not seeing online. Okay. So the motion was to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Is there a motion to pass the second reading?
Reading, sorry.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to pass the second reading. And this is for item 51. The clerk will call the roll.
Rainey,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera, Israel Rivera, Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Yes.
Anderson Burgos. Okay.
That was Counselor Rivera, and mine is
No, I
yes.
know. I heard Izzy.
Okay, okay.
Anderson Burgos, yes.
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
unanimous vote.
Okay. With that, you've passed 51. And item 104, if I may, just
Suspend the rules to allow the president to address us on item 104.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks. Any opposed? Okay. This was actually just brought to my attention a couple days ago through our state representative, who was advised by their council that we needed to add in the language that will allow the governor to, or allow it to go into effect as soon as the governor signs it. That being said, if it doesn't pass, there's nothing that goes to the governor, so it doesn't really matter. But it was just more of a logistical thing that we didn't include. So that's just what that's all about. Doesn't change the other information that we have already put before us. Does anyone have any questions on that? Counselor Jordan?
I had only had one question, and the law department already answered it, so it sounds good. I support it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Filing it. Yep.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Do we need a roll call on that?
I don't know. Maybe we should. Yeah, we probably do. Feels like we do.
I would say we should definitely, just because it has to get sent to the state.
Okay, great. Let's do that. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting for the amendment.
Rainey,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Abstain.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
unanimous vote.
Great. With that, you've passed it. Item 52 is the Committee on Finance to accept, that the City Council accept the fiscal 25 State 911 Department Support and Incentive Grant for $306,000 for, $306,443,000, no match. Counselor Devine?
Motion to pass the first reading?
Motion has been made and seconded to pass the first reading. Counselor Devine, under discussion?
Yeah, this is a, through the police department, and it is a grant that is intended to improve and support the dispatch center, allowing for efficient and effective operations. In addition to that, please note that your contract start date is September 10th, 2024, and will run through June 30th, 2025. If there's anything else I need to do. The grant manager is Sergeant Zerhide, and it's for enhanced 9/11 telecommunications personnel costs. It's 240, I think it looks like 46,443, and in addition, a mobile behavioral health crisis response, 60,000, for a total of 306,443. It's to defray the cost of salary for enhanced 911 communications personnel, including 911 telecommunications who are emergency communication dispatchers.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, so the motion was to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Motion passes.
Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting to approve this grant.
Greeny,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Vine,
Yes.
Givner.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, thank you. With that, you've passed. Item 53 is Finance, who was referred an order that DPW and Conservation Director provide an either update in writing or in person as to the progress made in implementing the urban forestry grant for 24-25. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine.
Yeah, I'd also like to talk, motion to pass the first reading, no? What we're gonna do, I talked to Counselor McGrath Smith, and this grant is to lease a stump grinder, but apparently you can't lease it, you have to buy it. So the DPW wants the procurement office to investigate all available shared purchasing agreements. So in going back and forth with Counselor McGrath Smith, we thought it would be a good idea to file an order to have everybody connected with this, the DPW, the Conservation Director, the Procurement Director, anybody that has anything to do with this contract, and have them come in and discuss it so we can get it finalized. Unless Counselor McGrath has anything else to add.
Only.
Counselor McGrath-Smith, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. This contract, has been just bandied around, and it's not making any movement forward. This is a grant that we got almost 8 months ago, and we haven't seen progress. And this is, well, I know many of you, like me, get calls from folks who are looking to get trees removed, and we're being told that they can't be removed until we move forward with this money that should allow us to do so. So, yeah, I like the idea of we can co-file an order, because I think we're hearing maybe from only one person. We need to really hear from everybody to understand where the breakdown is occurring and figure out a way to move forward.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, so the motion was to adopt the committee report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 54. The Committee on Finance, an order that the treasurer, along with key people, provide an update on progress and next steps for converting to self-insurance to provide health insurance for city employees. This was recommended that the order has been complied with. Counselor Devine.
Yeah, we had a meeting on this with Rory Casey. The brokers were Steve Corbin and Maureen O'Connell, and they've both worked for the city for many years. Apparently, the council adopted the acts that allowed for the Health and Dental Trust explored, fully funded, and there was a good discussion on this. I don't know if everybody got copies of several pages long on table of contents, the Health Benefit Trust Agreement. If you haven't gotten that, just ask Jeffrey for it, and it goes through all the items from definitions, trustees, obligations of the city, acceptance of the trust, operations of the trustees, purpose of the trust, and the power of the trustees, establish an operation of trust general fund, contributions, responsibility of public employees committee, any amendments, terms and termination, and miscellaneous. And it was a very good meeting. I think we all came around with a lot more knowledge, and I have to extend my gratitude to Councilor Jordan and Councilor Sullivan, who had a lot of great questions. So if they want to add anything more to this, but certainly pick up these pages, the trust agreement. I think you'll find it very, I was going to say entertaining, and I didn't mean it that way, but it's very educational.
Some people find that entertaining. I see Councilor Bacon's hand is up.
I already started.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to express my appreciation for that update. It was very complete, and I was very happy to hear how much progress had been made moving this whole endeavor forward. So I thank all the folks who came in and provided that information for us.
Great, awesome. Anyone else? Okay, so the motion
That's been complied with?
motion has been made and seconded that the order has been complied with. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Good job, Finance. Thank you. On to public safety. There's only one. Public safety, the committee was referred an order that the building department come to the public safety committee to discuss the new inspection initiative for 3 family homes and the implications for owners. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Rivera?
Madam President, if you want, I can mention.
Sure, Councilor Devine, you're on the committee.
Just trying to find my notes here. It was a order that Councilor Jenny Rivera and myself filed to have people come in because there was so much confusion about the 3 family homes and above. And some mistakes were made. Some people didn't get letters, some people did, some people ignored them. So we all felt that the best thing to do was we had Attorney Matuleski, and we had the interim building commissioner, Leslie Ward, and the mayor in. And the people, the organization for 3 family homes was here. Several of them that were here, and I respect them so much because they knew their stuff. They were together on it. They asked great questions, and they had controlled anger, if you want to say that's what it was, because they wanted to get down to the bottom of what was going on. So if you have a 3-family house and everything's okay and you just need an inspection, then you go to the building department. If you have some questions about whether you're being fined unfairly or whatever, you go to the law department. So it was a very good meeting, and everybody seemed to get their questions answered. So I do think it was great, and I'd say that was complied with.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Jordan?
Yeah, first thing I wanted to just say is I wanted to thank Councilor Devine and Councilor Barley for their leadership on this issue and kind of really steering our response as a council to this and supporting these important property owners in the city and making, again, everyone feel welcome everyone feel like this is about safety and this is about helping residents. And I understand whenever you have rules and regulations, it's always this balance between carrot and stick. And you want to have fines if people are really blowing the city off and not doing the right thing. But on the other hand, it's not a money grab. We're not here to bury these people, okay? These are good people, the vast majority of whom want to do the absolute right thing. So we need to support them in that. And as everybody knows, and unfortunately I was out of state and I was unable to make this meeting, but I would have, as I have articulated to a number of these property owners, many of whom actually even live in these properties themselves, right? I mean, you have like, in fact, I was just talking to a colleague the other day. I mean, you have families who own a 3-family and it's grandma's on one floor and Uncle Joe's on another floor and they live on one because this is how people are paying their bills today, right? This isn't just about people who are, you know, some slumlord from some faraway land. This is folks right here. And I'm troubled when I hear like people who are longtime residents, people who I know are wonderful people. I'll drive to their home and it's a beautiful home. And then they'll tell me some horror story about how they're being hit with a $91,000 fine. I'm like, what? You meant 900? No, $91,000 fine. I'm like, come on. It cannot be that way. And so we've got to figure this out as to how we're going to ratchet this down. We have to get to a good resolution and a place on all these fines. I did hear one thing that was optimistic the other day about maybe some overture to dramatically reduce these fines or create some sort of fine waiver program. We've got to do something like that. And if it requires legislation from us or a moratorium or whatever we have to do to create balance here, we absolutely need to do that. So going to be keeping a close eye on this. I hope as we go forward, we will not throw the baby out with the bathwater on this issue, and that we will remember that it's all about getting the repairs done. And if folks make the repairs, there should be an inspection and fine go away, at a minimum, dramatically reduced. And let's zero in on the people who aren't doing the right thing. There are plenty of people in Holyoke who are not doing right by us, okay? Let's focus the attention, the legal action, the dramatic fines, and it never seems like it's enough. I mean, I think of and I've talked to Councilor Ocasio about that apartment block that's over by, Seatown. You want to zero in on somebody and make a special project out of someone? How about there? That building has rubble, it has trash, it's had all kinds of issues. Zero in on those people who, that is a slumlord, out of town person. So, bottom line is, I'm hopeful that the city will do the right thing by these folks. But I did want to also clarify one other point. I was troubled by some misinformation that was put out and kind of throwing the honorable council under the bus. So I want to make sure we get the record real clear on this point. One, it was alluded at one point, and I'm not going to use names, but I just want to get this fact out there for people who pay attention to these meetings. Number one, the law that is cited that this council adopted is to, in 2012, adopt the state building code, which was recommended for adoption as an ordinance change by the building department. So to say that this is the council that created this rule, all we're saying is that when this came to us, that we said that we will follow the state building code, as the building department asked us in 2012 to adopt. Second point, in that ordinance, it states that if people are not complying with the order of the building commissioner, they're subject to a fine. It is in the full discretion of the building commissioner to determine who and who is not complying. So if people are doing the right thing, they simply don't have to say somebody is not complying. Third point, the ordinance states that the fine shall be not to exceed $300 a day. It doesn't say it has to be $300 a day, as these folks are being hit with. It could be $0 a day. It could be $1 a day, okay? So for some to suggest the mean old city council is creating these rules and we're the ones that's responsible for these folks being hit with $300 fines, not true. And that is not the law that this council adopted at the recommendation of the building department. So I wanted to get that out there and crystal clear. This city council did nothing wrong. And this city council is an extremely sympathetic ear to these property owners. And we are not suggesting that they be fined in some heinous way for all the points I made earlier. So thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. I have Councillor Givner and then Councillor Devine.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to mention that during that meeting, there was a lot of information laid out, and I think Leslie Ward did a good job of explaining what they're working on and trying to do. I did find after that meeting a little more clarity, and in that the best way for anyone to deal with any fines or if they have any questions about what they need, what needs to be repaired, what they're responsible for, because the original letter that went out to building owners doesn't really, it says you need an egress lighting inspection. So it's a lot more than that you are required to have by the city. This is just the tip of the iceberg I'm finding. So if people have questions about what they need, it really is in their best interest to contact Leslie Ward directly or go by the building department and speak to her. She can look up your property address, any permits you ever pulled. I found that there was a electrical permit pulled in my house in 2005 that was never closed, and so it was therefore never inspected afterwards. So these are things you can find out if you go there that you as a property owner are responsible for. But she's really patient, and she will look through your entire property history, point out the things that they can help with, the things that you need to do to get into compliance. And it seems, I've been led to believe that as long as you go there, speak with someone, get a plan of action, that you should be in good order. But those people, like you were saying before, like that were mentioned, who aren't doing anything and aren't getting on top of this, they're probably going to see some severe fines. So if you don't want to have the most severe fines possible, you should get to the building department and figure out what's on your property that maybe you didn't realize. Maybe you had some contractors do some work and they didn't do what they were supposed to do. So just because you paid for something to get done doesn't mean it was done. And you are responsible as a property owner. So Leslie Ward might be your savior right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Devine?
Yeah, real quickly, I agree with whatever was said tonight. And Leslie Ward was phenomenal. And considering she was only there for 2 weeks, the stuff that her and Attorney Mantelewski got done was incredible. And what we also agreed to do was review this again in 3 months and see where we're at, see how many people have complied with. And what we made sure we said was, do not ignore your mail. Because you're going to get a regular mail, you're going to get a certified mail. Do not ignore it. They also, it's a signature. If they have a card with your signature on it that you receive that letter, you better call them, okay? But it was a great meeting, and we're going to review it again in 3 months.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Councillor Bartley.
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. I have a slightly different take on what happened that night. And what this process has been about, and I expressed my feelings that night. One, it's quite unbelievable that a mayor would file a veto, which we just dismissed earlier tonight, about an order that was sent to committee. So somebody's sitting on the edge of his seat looking over this. The second thing that the mayor said that night was, this is all about neighbor to neighbor. He alluded to something in a memo, which I'll get to next, about a flex squad. That's not true. That was never brought up that night. What he brought up that night was neighbor to neighbor came here, which I was at the meeting. And how many people from Holyoke? I would say it was less than half. But they were very concerned about housing conditions. And that's how the thing triggered. Speaking about things that are honest and dishonest. They threw the former building commissioner. They said the former building commissioner is the one that okayed the $300 daily fines. I asked for that to be in writing somewhere. That hasn't been provided to me yet. But the chutzpah to say that, to throw the former building commissioner under the bus, saying it was that person I've known since he was 6 years old. I said to that night, I strongly doubt that happened. But those words were said. We heard from Miss Ward, who I have tremendous respect for. I've only been here 2 weeks. We all know that. She came up with a plan to resolve this on her own. Nobody else. So I have 2 orders in ordinance, which I'm sure we'll take up at the next meeting, relative to sort of getting through this in a more efficient, collaborative way. Following up on what Mr. Jordan said, the fines are discretionary. So what they were saying and what they're doing, they're just making the whole thing up. You don't have to fine anyone, as Kevin said. You don't have to certainly do it at $300 a day. And then the last thing, it's on the city website. The mayor is already bragging about he's got a receivable on the books for $20.7 million in fines. So this is not a kumbaya moment. The administration, rolled this out in a disastrous, offensive way. Now they're trying to backpedal, and they still don't want to work with people, but they're trying to backpedal their way out of it. Oh, we didn't mean it. Oh, just come on in. We'll fix. To start telling the truth, first of all, that would be a start. And second of all, let's get the meeting going in ordinance to try to really figure this out and put some backbone behind what it is that we're trying to do. Everyone in this room signed on to the orders. Everyone signed on to my 2 orders. So we'll see when the rubber hits the road how serious everybody is. But I'm hopeful that we will, as a city council, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback from individuals saying that the city council is really standing tall in this. So but we need to press on it and work with something, as Kevin said. Everybody wants safe, decent housing. Everybody wants that. So let's find a way to get there without dropping the hammer on good, decent landlords who are just trying to provide safe housing for people, make $1, and then be with their families. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Alrighty. So the motion was that the order has been complied with.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Item 56, public service, appointment of Vanessa Santiago to the Parks and Rec Commission. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yeah, so we met with Vanessa Santiago. She was great. Graduated from Holyoke Public Schools, participated in youth softball leagues, as well as many other school events. She explained her interest in the commission was to help continue giving the kids the same opportunities she had growing up in Holyoke, and wanted to continue that passion. If anybody from the committee also want to weigh in on their thoughts or anything.
Anything else? Great.
Yep, so the committee recommended the appointment 3-0. So
All right.
motion to receive, adopt the committee report
Second.
and confirm the appointment.
Second.
So motion's been made to receive, adopt, and confirm the appointment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Great. Thank you. 57 is the appointment of Jose Maldonado Velez to serve as a commissioner on the Housing Authority. Recommended that the appointment be confirmed. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yes, so former at-large city councilor Jose Maldonado Velez came in, and it was nice to see him actually. And he has a lot of passion. He works with people who are having issues with housing, and his passion is behind that, making sure that people have a place of support in that area. I think he's a strong fit for this, and so if any of their committee members want to speak on.
Councilor Devine, and then
Yeah, I
Councilor
just
Greeny.
wanted to say how happy I am that he's been appointed to this, the Holyoke Housing Authority. That's where his passion lies, is with housing, and I think he'll be terrific. And it's, you know, he may have lost his election, but sometimes when a door closes, another one opens, and I think this is a great one that opened for him and the Housing Authority.
Thank you, Councilor Graney, and then Councilor Rivera.
Yep, a good candidate.
Awesome. Councilor Rivera.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, for me, I consider myself a Holyoke housing kid. I grew up in Holyoke housing, and to see someone that kind of like I know from the community and from the, not to say the others I don't know, I know them now, but like I've known Jose since he was a little boy. Going to the Boys and Girls Club at Tefford Apartments in the Holyoke Housing Authority. That's a good representation. So yeah, thank you.
Perfectly said, Councilor Rivera. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the committee recommended the appointment 3-0. So I would motion to receive, adopt the committee report and confirm the appointment.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to receive, adopt, and confirm the appointment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. So moved. 58.
9. No, we did 8.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. 59 is the Committee on Public Service, to whom was referred an order that Veteran Services Department look into expanding the number of signs on Holyoke's Purple Heart Trail. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Yeah, so the Director of Veteran Service, George Santiago, and War Memorial Commissioner Ladi Rua, they both came in. They talked a little bit about, stated that the predecessor, Jesus Pereira, worked on the Purple Heart Trail, which went into South Hadley and all the way into Southampton along Route 202. He also explained that they were looking to expand the signage and more opportunities to have sponsor members from veterans in the city to sponsor and put up new signages. The commissioner, she stated that she had collaborated with Mr. Pereira in the past on this. She added that the War Memorial Commission agreed that they should be able to display what the veterans had done for the benefit of the families who wanted to preserve the history, as well as for current and future veterans to see. This is very important for our community, obviously. We can't thank our veterans enough. And if this is just scratching the surface of how we can do that, this is very important. Also, I will chime in and say that Councilor Bartley was there, and if you would like to say any words, please feel free at all. Or
No.
Okay.
No,
Or committee,
we were
sorry.
We were fully in support of this.
Yeah, we were really.
Okay.
What we did say that I think it was Councilor Bartley who initiated this program in Holyoke before.
Councilor Bartley.
Yeah, so just one quick, that was a great summary. I really appreciate everybody pitching in with this. One thing what we suggested to the new commissioner is that, department head, is that we do something similar to what Jeff's doing for the for the signs, like Joe's sign and Betty's sign and Jack's sign, all the rest of them around the city, that Jeff's gonna organize those, gonna get them on the website. Well, Mr. Santiago's gonna do the same thing for the Purple Heart Trail signs,
Nice.
kind of blow them up and put them on their page as well. And that'll give, I think, probably family members a chance to really see what they look like. And then hopefully they'll be interested in sponsoring one too, and we'll really expand it. So that's the only thing I want to add.
Great. Councilor Graney.
The beauty of this is it gives a personal touch
Yeah.
for the families of the vets who serve. It's
Absolutely.
very nice.
Anyone else?
Yeah, so the order was complied with.
All right, so the motion is that the order's been complied with.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thanks, Public Service.
Thank you.
Up next, DGR. Item 60 is order to declare 285 Main Street as surplus property and sell to a butter, Jana Kaizen Torres, with an address of 10215 Jamaica Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York, for $15,000. And recommended that the order has been adopted. Counselor Givner.
Thank you, Madam President. So this order was filed by Counselor Jay Rivera, and we had Johanna. It's actually pronounced
Thank
Johanna. We had Johanna Kaizen Torres on Zoom. She intends to fence off the lot and use it actually for parking. She owns the building next door already, and she spoke very highly of her intentions and what to do with the building. She referred to the building next door as a house. It was my understanding that she's interested in completely renovating the home next door and either partially renting it out or living in it herself. She has family in the area, so although she is not currently in the area, she is frequently in Holyoke and has family members who are checking on the property. She has about a 2-year turnaround in mind for this improvement to the building next door as well as the lot. But her intention is to gain possession of the lot, fence it off, keep it clean, and already start to improve, the appearance of the space in the neighborhood. So yeah,
Great.
that's it.
Counselor Bartley.
Yeah, that was an excellent summary. I was very impressed by this individual who is, it just paid cash for the building, and now it's going to step up and pay cash for this lot. I think this is a win for her. It's going to be a win for her property, and definitely a win for the city. She seems very conscientious about what's happening on Main Street. She's a big supporter of the city and the downtown area. So this is somebody, it reminds me of the couple that was here maybe a month and a half ago relative to the building on High and on Maple and Lyman, and just very enthusiastic. Or the two young gentlemen that were here with a property that they developed, and they want to develop another property on Hampton Street. So I think it's Hampton Street. No, I screwed that up. Doesn't matter. It's over by the post office. So there's some really interested people in the city, in the downtown area, and that kind of gives me a lot of hope going forward. So this is something that I think we should all enthusiastically support.
Thank you, Counselor. I see Counselor Rivera's hand is up.
Yeah, did she talk about her experience in development?
She did not talk about her experience in development. She's in the military and couldn't make it to the first meeting because she had been, I'm not sure where she was, but she was unavailable because she was working. So I'm not sure how much experience she has with this, but she is hiring contractors to do the work. So, and she has been in touch with planning. Sorry?
So like a lot of the stuff is already in motion, like she came forward and
Yeah, so she's already working on the interior of the building, and she mentioned specifically that we asked how soon we could see visible improvements, and she said, well, it might take 2 years because she's really focusing on the interior. They've already replaced the roof, and they're working on some of the safety things and just keeping it dry while they start working on the inside.
And I only say that because the reference that Councilor Bartley used, they actually have experience in development. And
the other one, yeah.
Yeah, so that I think that's the difference here. But I'm not going to be against it. I just have the question and want to make sure that someone that's holding onto the property that's purchasing another property right next to it actually has the plans, in a foreseeable future, to do something with it, not 10, 15 years down the road. But
no, yeah, she seemed really. So this is one building. It's I think it's 2 floors or 3 floors max, and it's not really her intention to. It didn't sound like she's trying to be a real estate mogul. She's purchasing the lot next door so she can turn it into parking for the building. And the lot next door is actually too small to build on, according to planning. So she's well aware of that currently and intends to fence it off to keep people from walking through it and dumping on that property next door to her.
All set?
thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so there was a motion that the order be adopted, and the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to declare the property surplus and sell for $15,000.
Greenie,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera, Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner,
Yes.
12 yeas.
Okay, with that, you have passed.
Madam President, and it's with the chairs, but I think we can take 61 and 62 together as a package. Suspend the
Sure.
rules.
Second.
I thought I was losing my mind.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take items 61 and 62 as a package. All those in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? 61 is that the DPW and Alarm Division come to City Council for an update on near Elmwood Towers. And then 62 is that DPW and the Alarm Division come to provide an update on the crosswalk improvement of Holyoke Community College on Homestead Ave. Both of these orders, it's recommended that they have been complied with. Councillor Givner.
Thank you, Madam President. So item, it's 6 in my notes. Item 61, basically that was complied with because the work's been done. So we can start with that. All the work has been done for the traffic signal improvement there on South Street across from, or to Elmwood Towers. So that's why that was complied with. And then item 62 was regarding the main gate or area around the main gate at HCC. And it seems like this has been in the works for some time. So this was an interesting conversation because I didn't know about this, but according to Councilor Bartley, there were plans submitted to the city or created by like Chris Baker and DPW and submitted and approved about 7 years ago. And he mentioned that the funding was in place for the planning of the project, but that and for the building, but that the funding, or we're not sure where the funding is, but it was put out to bid and the bids were coming back too high. So basically, this is a project that was well intentioned, would have served a lot of people, but seems like the city pumped the brakes on this a couple times because they couldn't find a bid that was affordable. So the recommendations after some conversation in committee was that considering that this is a Commonwealth or state road, we may qualify for some state funding for this. We need infrastructure funds. Maybe we could get a grant. Councilor Anderson Burgos mentioned that he could reach out to District 2 for assistance. And so it looks like this item was recommended to be complied with, or it is complied with, but the work will continue. It looks like there's some work going on and outside of the committee to see how to get funding and move this project forward, since it's already been planned and it seems like it sort of half implemented. Thank you.
Councilor Bartley?
Yeah, thank you. It was an excellent meeting that night, and just relative to Elmwood Towers, that's done. So the traffic signals have been repaired. That was about a 10-week delay, but it all worked out in the end. So everybody over there at Elmwood Towers is happy. On 62, I'm not happy, and no one else up there is happy either in Elmwood Heights, because this has been pending for a while. The money was in place. So the Alarm Division does have the flashing beacons. And they can install the stuff. Chris Baker, and we put it up on the screen that night, designed a crosswalk that's going to be, I think, a winner for that area and a winner for the college, and it would add a massive safety component to this area. we just need to go ahead and get the approval of Mass DOT, and the Ward 6 Council is going to help me with that. We've got to find enough funding to construct the crosswalk. So that's going to take a minute, but we'd had the funding at one point. It just didn't work out for whatever reason about 4 years ago. So we're hopeful that I'll work offline with Rep. Duffy and Juan and try to figure something out, Mr. Velas, and see if we can get the financing in place. So the design looks good. I think it's going to be a safety component. And then the only other thing I did, which I forgot to do some years ago, I filed an order with Linda, number 88, so to put in an ordinance to approve the crosswalk. So we'll get to that when we get to it. But hey, it was a good discussion. I think a lot more councilors are aware of what's going on, and I think that's going to add to the momentum to finally get this done. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Just a side note, this must have been hidden somewhere because no one signed it from DGR. This is for 62, so do I have everyone's permission that it's
Yep.
signed? Okay. Thank you. So those are both recommended that the motion was that the order has been complied with. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay. 63, we're done with DGR. Good job. Thank you. Next is charter and rules. Under city council rules, please add the following, a new rule. Every 2 years after being sworn in, city council president shall set the seating arrangements of the city council. Consideration shall be taken for any legitimate handicap preference. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you. And I want to thank all of the counselors that came to the meeting. We actually had 2 different meetings where we worked through the things that are coming to today. And thank you to everyone who worked offline with me to walk through the rules and give me the backstory to some of them, including Councilor Jordan. And also thank you just to the committee. Councilor Vacan and Marshall Borletti are just a delight to get to work through this stuff with. So 63 is just attempting to come up with a good answer for the kind of conflict we had around the interpretation of our rule from the beginning of this term so that can't happen again. And we had a really good conversation, I think very respectfully, around what are the different ways of doing that so that it feels fair. It doesn't feel like it can be weaponized. It doesn't feel like it, folks can get, sucked into it being something that's dramatic or can be seen as heavy-handed. So instead, we went for what could be as neutral as possible, which was this seating is drawn by lots. So you have the language in front of you on 63 in your packet. And if you haven't read it, I encourage you to, because we really did work it through. One thing that I do want to make a small amendment, there's a small error in the last line. It says the city council president shall assign such councilors to seats that accommodates their needs. It needs to be to the seats that accommodate their needs. We just need to remove that S at the end of accommodates, please, for just a little bit of a Scrivener's error there when I typed it. My apologies. And that's that.
Anyone else? Councilor Jordan.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank the chair and the president and Councilor Vacan for taking a very thoughtful approach on all of this and being very sensitive to everybody's consideration on all these different rule changes. And I'm happy to support all of these, and I do thank them very much for the time, the effort, and listening to everybody, and very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Anyone else? Councilor Vacan.
Yes, I would just like to say that I think out of good dialogue and frank discussion about how we view things from a different perspective, we came up with a win-win result for the council. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, so the motion is to adopt the new rule. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thank you. 64 is charter and rules, that Rule 9H be amended and reworded in order to make the process of changing or updating an ordinance a smoother process. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
This was taken up, I think, 5 or 6 different times. I eventually took a pass at drafting it, and then I was able to meet with several counselors who had sort of seen this over time and could walk me through where the hangups were and what language really needed to be kept versus which parts really were causing issues or unclarity of process. And I think we came up with something that, while not shorter, which was one of my goals, I think is in fact at least clear around who drafts it. And I encourage you to read over it carefully because it does make some shifts to how we will operate, particularly in ordinance, just around us putting things in writing. And I think it makes it clear who is drafting what, who's approving what, on what time frame. And you'll see that there is another order around us taking up another rule that is kind of impacted by this change later on in the agenda tonight. Thank you.
Anybody else? Alrighty. So the motion is to
Accept the proposed amendment to our rules.
accept the proposed amendment to Rule 9H. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 65 is charter and rules that the city council adopt a rule to establish a 2-year legislative term. Any orders pending in committee or not acted on by the end of the legislative term must be refiled at the start of the subsequent legislative term. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to take up items 65 and 76 together as a package and to take final action on 76 tonight as well.
Second.
Okay, so the motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take items 65 and, 76? Right.
Did I get it wrong? Let me check.
Wait. Okay.
76.
76? Okay. Take them as a package and take final action on 76 tonight. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so 76 is filed by myself, Councilor McGrath-Smith, and Councilor Bacon,
The entire committee.
the Committee of Charter and Rules. Ordered that Rule 4D be changed from all items previously tabled in committee shall be included on subsequent committee agendas until voted out of committee on each subsequent committee agenda until voted out of committee by a majority thereof or until removed from committee by a 2/3 vote of the full council. 2, all items previously tabled in committee shall be included on each subsequent committee agenda until voted out of committee by a majority thereof, until removed from committee by a 2/3 vote of the full council, or until the end of the 2-year legislative term, subject to the process named in Rule 4G. Councilor McGrath-Smith?
So this effectively creates a 2-year legislative term. A lot of us, if your chair stepping into agenda, your jacket could be, how long was ordinance? It's like 80 items deep just to start the process, right? So the concept here is to kind of streamline and make us more effective and make it so that there's a process for us to sort of sunset items between terms with 2 exceptions. One exception is named for legal requirements because sometimes There's a matter subject to a specific legal timeline or a statutory requirement where we can't sunset it. And the second is a continuation of orders by re-elected counselors. So that language says re-elected counselors may request that any orders they have filed, which are pending in committee at the end of a legislative term, be continued into the subsequent term without refiling. Such a request must be communicated in writing to the chair of the respective subcommittee and the city council assistant no later than the last day of the legislative term. The city council assistant shall notify the city clerk of such continuations, and the matter shall remain pending into the subsequent term. The reason why I'm asking us to look up 76 and take final action on that tonight is because we realized that then triggered a change that needed to happen to Rule 4D. So the committee of charter rules is asking you to help us also make this other change so that we don't have rules in conflict with each other.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, just a question. Before I came back on the council in January, it was always, you could always take something up in finance or ordinance, nothing else. Is that correct? So is that changed now? So a full city council could take up a public service, so only finance and ordinance still?
Counselor Jordan?
Two different issues.
Okay.
What you're correct on what you're referring to is that in the middle of a meeting, there is a rule that says we could have an ordinance meeting or a finance item, but not the other committees due to the sensitivities of those committees, and there might be something very time sensitive. What Councilor McGrath-Smith is mentioning is this would be new. We would be creating, we already know de facto we have a real 2-year term. So what it's saying is that at the end of that 2-year term, anything that is left in the jackets basically are going to be wiped out and started from scratch unless one of those two things happen, that there's a legal requirement that we have to carry it over, i.e. a public hearing, like a zone change or something, or the second is a re-elected counselor can go to the committee chair or to Jeff and say, I'd like this held into the next term. This way, you don't have to do the house cleaning of, stuff from 2012 or Lord knows when.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Counselor Greeny?
Just one quick thing. If a counselor is no longer is not re-elected, can he request of one of the counselors to keep alive whatever the ordinance was that he filed?
I think in that instance, they would have to have that counselor either refile it. Otherwise, it would die under our rules.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay. So on the motion to adopt both 65 and 76.
Yep,
So it's a new rule, 4G, and then a proposed amendment to Rule 4D.
Yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. Okay, thank you, everyone. So now we have item 66, charter and rules, that Rule 9P be amended so that items not acted on in committee jackets become deemed tabled after 45 business days. Recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor McGrath-Smith?
We did get a legal opinion on that was a change that's absolutely fine for us to make. And so we have that proposed amendment here. And also part of our conversation was just, is this rule working for us? Is this important? Do we need this rule? And so that's different than the order that we had in front of us. But if somebody wanted to file an order for us to explore that, I'm certainly open to it. I think that Jeff has done a really admirable job getting all the agendas to actually accurately have all the items there. And so maybe this rule is not needed in the same way. And I think the summer recess piece makes it tricky. So I don't know if we want to make an exception about that or not over time. But I just wanted to name that was part of the conversation when this came up in committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Devine?
Yeah, I think it's great that it's business days now instead of regular days. The only place I would put the last sentence, any order not acted on within 45, the word business days should be in there. Other than that, it's great, I love it.
Okay, so just you're saying, let's make a quick amendment so that it says within 45 business days, and then in the second sentence, 45 business days.
Right.
Yep,
Thank you.
that makes sense to me.
Okay.
We're voting on this now, right?
I'll second that if it's an amendment.
Yeah,
Just want to make
Thank you.
sure.
I think we have to vote on the amendment, yes?
yes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. You got it? Okay, cool. You're so great, Jeffrey. All right, thank you. So the motion was to amend this amended order or rule of tabling after 45 business days. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? So moved. Thank you.
And then, did we just vote on the amendment, or did that?
Yep, motion,
So now we have
final
to-
adoption.
Now final. Now
As
that yeah,
as
that was
amended.
just the final.
Amendment.
As amended.
So now the motion is to approve the final amendment and adopt the new rule, revised
As
rule.
amended.
All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Yay, committee reports.
Do we do 67 yet, though?
No.
Okay. 67 is charter and rules, referred an order from Assistant City Solicitor Jan Manteleschi, legal opinion on Rule 9P, recommended that the order be adopted.
Could we say complied with since it's
That's
legal
what-
versus adopted?
Or received.
Or
Just
received,
received.
or, yeah, received.
You received it when we made the proposal.
Okay, so the motion is to
Right.
receive. All those in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. All right, guys, we're doing great.
Roll.
Okay. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Just a reminder, let's not discuss it if we don't need to, if we're not voting on it tonight.
Right.
Okay, 68 was filed by Councilor Givner. Ordered that DPW install a handicap sign for 171 Beach Street.
The
Ordinance.
ordinance.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. I'm going to abbreviate this one if that's cool with everyone. 69 was filed by Councilor Jordan. Ordered that following boards and commissions under the jurisdiction of the Planning and Economic Development appear to have very tardy minutes reporting online that need to be updated. If they can please update these online records and report back to the council when order has been complied with.
Motion to receive, adopt, and send to Planning and Economic Development.
Second.
Director.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive, adopt, and send to the Office of Planning and Economic Development. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 70 is filed by Councilors McGrath-Smith and Anderson Burgos, ordered that the city engineer and DPW address additional signage that could be added to Parker Street. Where would you like
Just receive and adopt.
receive and send to city engineer?
Motion to
Receive and adopt.
adopt.
All right, motion is to receive and adopt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 71 is filed by Councilors McGrath-Smith and Jordan, that the city solicitor, auditor, and treasurer develop and present a clear policy regarding the use of remaining collected cannabis fees.
Thinking finance with a copy to the solicitor, auditor, and treasurer.
Okay.
Second.
So send to finance with a copy to the solicitor, auditor, and treasurer. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 72, also filed by Councilors McGrath-Smith and Jordan, that city solicitor develop and present a clear policy regarding acceptable fees that can be levied against future cannabis businesses related to concrete specific impacts of cannabis businesses. Sent to finance? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 73, filed by Councilors McGrath-Smith and Jordan, ordered that HR director come into finance to present which HR functions are being completed by which departments, commissions, or boards.
Finance.
Send to finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 74, filed by Councilors McGrath, Smith, and Jordan, that the HR Director and Interim Police Chief come into council to discuss the positive and negative impacts of our policy of swearing in police officers prior to their finishing the police academy. Finance?
Come into council, so I would request public safety on that.
Okay. Public safety, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 75, filed by Councilor McGrath Smith, that Rule J be edited to remove the first two sentences. So it reads, if legal form is not provided 48 hours prior to the meeting, upon objection of any member of the city council, the matter will be tabled. Sent to Charter and Rules.
Yes, please.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 76 is filed by, oh, we did that, just kidding. 77, filed by myself, ordered that the law department provide a legal opinion on the number of votes required to make transfers from the special stabilization fund. Receive and refer to the law department.
I was going to ask, we have this similar order for 77 and 78 in finance. They're going to be coming in to discuss. Could we have it for finance? for the
Sure,
moment?
yeah, absolutely. So can we entertain a motion to take 77 and 78 as a package?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Second. Aye.
And so 78 is also filed by myself, that the law department provide guidance or a memo that outlines the number of votes required for different items related to finance, ordinances, real estate. Send to finance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 79, filed by Councilor Ocasio, DPW install a handicap sign for 184 Sargent Street.
Ordinance.
Ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 80 is filed by Vacan, Givner, Ocasio, that the city engineer provide draft language for a formal program to prioritize and schedule placement of speed humps and traffic calming measures. Sent to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 81, filed by Councilor Vacan, that consideration be made to adopt the changes available under the HERO Act for veteran property tax exemptions.
To ordinance.
Okay. Send to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And 82 is also Councilor Vacan, order that we add clauses of the HEROES Act to expand benefits for veterans.
To ordinance as well, please. Thank
Yep.
you.
Madam President, 83 and 84 as a package.
Oh, hold on, I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're okay. I respect.
I'm trying to
I
speak up
I
for you.
love it. I'm here
Trying
for
to
it.
help you
Sends 82 to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. The motion was what, sir?
83, 84 as a package and sent to ordinance.
Motion to suspend the rules and take up 83 and 84 as a package. All those in favor?
And I'll further suspend it and take 87 as well.
Nice. We'll also take 87 as well. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
so 83 is a handicap sign installed on Arthur Street. 84 is a handicap sign installed on Linden Street. And 87 is a handicap sign on Congress Ave. Sent to
Copies
ordinance?
And copy to the commission.
Okay. So sent to ordinance with a copy to the Disabilities Commission. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 85 was filed by Councilor Anderson Burgos. Resolution that the Holyoke City Council vote to condemn the floating island of garbage statement made at a political rally.
Refer to
And-
public service.
Wait, can I, it's my
Sure.
order. Can I just take a second here? Please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. I was done. I was gonna.
Yeah, so this is my first resolution, and I'm looking and seeking advice from my colleagues. So I was thinking, because the resolution wasn't drafted yet, should, before this order goes to the committee, should that resolution be attached to this order? Is it okay to Do you see what I'm saying? I just have that question. I didn't know if I should
Yeah.
table this and then send it with a resolution.
I think if I may, I think you can, and I'll call on Councilor Bartley, but I think you can refer it to committee now and then present something
Okay.
in committee.
Then that's what I'll do.
Yes.
And could we also take, which is on the same topic, really is 105, the mayor's communication to us regarding the election and sort of civil discourse, I thought would be a very good topic to go along with this, and I thought the mayor's words were on point.
Sure.
So
DGR, I was thinking. Sorry.
You were thinking
you want to
DGR?
do everything to DGR?
Well, sorry, resolution to DGR.
Oh, okay.
Your
To
order to
DGNR.
DGR.
Yes.
Okay, then the mayor's thing to DGNR.
Okay.
Should be at the same time.
Okay. So motion's been made and seconded to send 85 and 105 to DGR. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. Okay. Item 86, filed by Councilor Anderson Burgos.
And council, and number 88, please, suspend the rules.
Okay.
Both go on.
Motion to suspend the rules and take up 86 and 88 as a package. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 86 is Anderson Burgos, that the fine for violating the ordinance on parking in front of driveways be increased. And 88 is that the city council ordain a new crosswalk near the main gate to HCC. Refer both of these to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we did 87. 89, filed by Councilor Bartley. City boards are posting an agenda, but many boards and commissions are lacking posting meeting minutes. Please forward this order to all municipal boards as a request to make meeting minutes for fiscal year 24 or calendar year 24 available on the city website prior to the next scheduled regular meeting of the city council.
So the motion's to receive and adopt and then refer as indicated. I don't know where Kevin and I were in the same wavelength, so we have similar orders, but we didn't discuss it, but whatever. So that just to receive, adopt, and refer to whatever I said on there.
Okay.
Second.
Madam President,
Yeah.
just quickly, I wanted to just point out to department heads that are helping or in boards and commissions, please get the stuff also up on the website, because that's what's prompting calls to me and perhaps others that are saying, I went on the website to look up, and they'll see agenda and no minutes, or no agenda, or no packet, or like constituents are reading that stuff and they want to have that, and we need to get it up on the website. So we appreciate you sending it to us, but the other real follow-up that I'm looking for is please put it on the website.
So,
Makes sense.
Thank
so
you.
what I did, if my good friend would have read the 5th line down, it says right on there to get available on the city website prior. Okay,
Yes.
so that's really the whole point, because I'm making calls on it too, which is
Yeah.
probably the same people calling Kevin and me.
Yeah.
You know.
So we're going to refer to all city boards, commissions, our administrative assistant, and the public service committee for a follow-up.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item 90, filed by Bartley and Ocasio. DPW posts a no left turn and no U-turn signs near Brightside Ave.
Yeah, I'm going to, just out of abundance of caution, I'm not sure we have an ordinance on point on this, so certainly we want to send it to the ordinance committee and the law department just to advise us as to whether there's an ordinance on point. If there is, then we'll have to deal with it. Just send it to DPW. If there's not, then we'll have to come up with one. So
Okay. So send to ordinance,
Public Work and Law Department.
Public Works and Law Department. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 91, filed by Councilor Bartley, that we amend our rules to incorporate under Section 3 or some other section, the public body or its chair shall at reasonable interviews review the minutes of executive sessions to determine if the provisions of this subsection warrant continued non-disclosure. Refer to Charter and Rules
Yeah,
in the
charter
Law
rules,
Department.
please. Yep.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I would entertain if we wanted to do 92, 93, 95, 96
So moved.
So moved.
As a package.
as a package. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? So I'll just briefly read what each of these are. 92 is a transfer. And we assume we need to take final action tonight. A transfer for $66.89. My brain is done. And this represents 11 officers. It's sergeants and patrolmen to injured on duty. 93 is a transfer request of $20,167.33 from sergeants and patrolmen to injured on duty, which is also 9 officers. 95 is a transfer request for $11,068.78 for injured on duty, which represents 4 firefighters. Did you say something? Sorry.
No, 4.
Okay. And 96 is a transfer request of $8,441.58 from to injured on duty, and that is representing 3 firefighters.
That's correct.
Okay.
So, motion that we approve the transfers.
I think we have to do the
Pass
first
the
reading.
first reading.
Oh, okay. Motion to pass the first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion to pass the first reading. Any discussion? Okay.
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made to pass the second reading. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to approve these transfers.
Graney,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Ocasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera, Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner.
Yes.
12 yeas, unanimous vote.
Great. Thank you, everyone. I would also entertain a motion to take 94, 97 through 100
So moved.
and 109 as a package. It's totally, yes. Councilor Sullivan?
I'd like to leave 100 out.
Okay. So I'll do 94, 97, 98, and 99 as a package. Let me just read them. 94 is for $300,000. It's a transfer request from dispatch and patrolman to overtime. 97 is a transfer request of $32,000 from the HPD professional account, treasurer administrative assistant, procurement assistant CPO, to the IT software license. And let's see, 98 is to accept a grant and the conditions for $24,500 for the State 911 Department Emergency Medical Dispatch Grant Program. 99 is a grant acceptance for the fiscal year 25 State 911 Department Training Grant Program. $12,555.20, no match. Send to finance.
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item 100.
And Madam, I think 101 is a duplicate of that.
Oh, yes, that's on my notes, actually. Okay.
Give leave to withdraw to item 101.
Okay.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to give leave to withdraw on item 101. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So,
So item 100, I'll just read it briefly, is that the city council accept the EEA dam and seawall repair or removal program, City of Holyoke's levee control system improvements, pump station repairs project, $187,500, 25% in-kind match. Councilor Sullivan?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to receive and accept the grant.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive and accept the grant, or taking final action tonight.
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Whoa, whoa, how about-
I'm sorry. I meant to like
discussion?
suspend the. I meant to suspend the rules.
Oh, suspend the rules.
Yeah.
Suspend the rules, and don't worry.
Okay.
Calm down.
So we're suspending the rules to take final
Oh,
action
excuse
tonight.
me. Okay, I'm sorry.
All those in favor on that?
Aye.
Okay. And Councilor Sullivan.
Yeah, and the reason I like to move forward with this as quickly as possible is this is a fantastic piece of work done by Myra Gates in the DPW, the grant writer we have there now. This money is for design work on long overdue needed work on the flood walls along the Connecticut River, but in particular with the pump stations also. These pump stations and the wall were Army Corps projects in 1938. Nothing has been upgraded in these stations since then. They're extremely dangerous. They have to be tested every year. DPW can no longer test them. The work has to be done by Oil, Gas, and Electric. And we also are coming under federal mandate to upgrade these stations. So this grant is providing us funding to do the design work on not only the installation of the equipment that has to go into the pump stations, but also the possibility of discontinuing or no longer having the need for some of these stations. So it's work we'd be stuck with entirely the design work on our own if it wasn't for this grant. It does come with a 25% in-kind match, but this is all, as we've seen before in many other grants, not a cash outlay. It's in-kind work being done by Gas and Electric, by the DPW, by the engineers, that they're mandated to do anyway. It's just documenting the amount of time and effort put into these. The other reason for speeding up this design work is once the design work is in place, it entails millions of dollars of work that has to be done, and it will speed up the process for our grant writer to begin the work now also on getting quite possibly millions of dollars in grant money flowing sooner to actually do this work. So that's why I'd like to see this one expedited, go through so they can get to work not only on the design, but on the possibility of the future grants to get the work done.
Thank you, Councilor. Are there any comments or questions? Oh, sorry, Councilor Bacon has her hand up.
That's okay. I was in the process of taking it down because Counselor Sullivan answered my question in his summary. Thank you.
Wonderful. Councilor Greeny,
Just quickly, the
can you just make sure you're speaking into the microphone?
just quickly the 25% would be, according to my calculations, about 45 grand.
Correct.
Great, thank you. Anyone else?
Motion that we pass the
So
item tonight.
We need to do the first reading.
Oh, okay.
That whole fun.
Would that be
So that was your motion to pass the first reading?
motion to pass the first reading?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading?
Second.
Motion to pass the second reading. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to accept the grant.
Rainey,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti,
Yes.
Acasio,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Bartley,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Givner.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Great. With that, you've passed it.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Late files. Just a few left. We're almost done. We got this. Look, I'm so proud of us.
It was the karaoke that did it.
I know. I should have promised you guys this months ago. Item 102 is Councilor Graney that DPW install a 15-minute parking sign in front of the Stop and Go variety store, Hillside and Cherry Street.
Can we take final action on that tonight? It's
No,
a,
we
it's a
can't.
local
No.
We
business.
can't do that.
No.
Ordinance.
Local business.
Ordinance.
Ordinance.
It has to
can't
go
do
to
it.
ordinance.
His business is hurting.
Understandable. We'll get it. We'll make sure that it gets discussed very soon. So send to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 103 is from Councilor Bartley. A letter supporting HPD senior citizen Christmas event.
Just
You
received.
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 yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We did 104. We did 105.
106 and 107 receive.
106 is from Mayor Garcia regarding the Holyoke Public Schools, and 107 is from the police chief about the search, or it's from the mayor about the police chief search process.
And 108?
108 be received as well.
And 108, all those motion is sorry, did you say? 108 is the November 5th, 2024 unofficial election results.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So the motion was to suspend the rules and take these three up as a package and approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Or receive, sorry, receive. 109 is filed by Councilor Devine, and that is accept a grant from Municipal Road Safety Program, $39,600, no match.
You received and sent to finance, please.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Aye. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone. Look at us.